Pondering on the seeming contradictions of liberty got me thinking a video was in order. So I think it's fair to count myself as one of the more fortunate human beings on the planet. In spite of its flaws, Ireland is a free country, conventionally speaking, casting off the shackles of empire and then later the weakening of the Catholic Church's influence. It's been a long and hard road, but I don't want to so much focus on historical politics here. The freedom of the individual person, a fragile thing, even in what one might think of as a favourable situation. There are always factors which can bridle one's liberty, or trade-offs which are made for the supposed good of society. The community comes first, the needs of the many and all of that. But even in a moderately conservative nation as Ireland is, respect for personal freedom is, on the whole, observed. And living in a capital city with a culturally and ethnically diverse population, the social environment lends itself to a certain outlook. We have to respect each other's differences, or we're going to be in real trouble, aren't we? I moved over here in the middle of 2019 after my Canada plans had fallen through, and I didn't know what to expect exactly. For the first couple of months I did get a little homesick for Wales, but it passed eventually. And then, as now to an extent, the loneliness will get to me. Even so, the positives outweigh the negatives, not least of all the greater freedom I have being on my own, away from everyone in my family. I'll go and visit the folks in the UK maybe once a year, and sometimes they'll come over to Dublin. But for the most part, these last 5 years or so have been an exercise in forging my own path. Being alone for long periods gives you the personal space to really mull things over, go inside yourself, without having to deal with the distractions and arrangements that prevailed previously. On the working front, things have been tough. Independence comes with a burden, a labour burden, a seeming contradiction, trading labour for money, and the money for a greater autonomy. But these are my choices that I've made freely. I do like to gripe and complain about my job sometimes, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Now, some say that freedom begins and ends between your ears. Being a free thinker is the only true way one can be free, as there are always hard limits placed on physical liberty by society, by nature itself, by those who claim to speak for God, and of course by the state. But to be a free thinker is not a thing one can simply be without understanding the fragility and weaknesses of the human mind. You have to understand your own vulnerability. You can be manipulated. Your own emotions can be used against you. You can fall down rabbit holes. You can be taken in by confidence tricksters or even megalomaniacal leaders. I guess training kids in skepticism isn't something they teach in schools around the world, or here in Ireland as far as I'm aware. Training a person's mind to spot bullshit and giving a person the tools to really understand and identify the difference between facts and fiction, truth and dogma. That's one of the best things you can do for anyone, isn't it? I've come to think that social media is truly damaging the minds of so many. Many are trapped in echo chambers, carved out by the algorithm. Algorithm capture, I've heard it called. We've seen it happen in front of our very eyes to so many well-known people. They've become frontline culture warriors in constant battle with the evil other. For some people it will be very difficult to walk away, to free themselves from the chamber, from the capture. Maybe some can't even see the prison they've made for themselves. On YouTube, I've been trying over the past couple of years, really, to train the algorithm to stay away from the more extreme content, the partisan bollocks and the culture war crap, but it's an uphill battle, isn't it? Simply because it's so prevalent. Having actual breaks from the main platforms, including this one, is very helpful. Pulling your head out of the hole for a while is a healthy exercise, I believe. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, folks. I will see you next time. Take it easy. Peace.